Hi guys. Hi guys, how are you today? It's a Sunday. Yesterday I couldn't help but miss the broadcast, and I'm going to tell you why. It's going to be an interesting story. It's the Sunday Convo, and I'm going to be sharing stories. A story of Impreza, Noah, Mark X, and a failed purchase that happened yesterday evening. And probably then I'll also be, as I share the stories, you guys will be learning a thing or two. I'll also be learning a thing or two that I already learned, but something that I think the more you speak, the more you learn. Yeah. Let me just clean the window. I've not yet washed the car today. So I'm going home to do the washing. But first, I have to go buy the urban some mangoes. Yeah, but I hope you guys are doing well today. Katumba Hamidu, Patrick Yo Poultry Farm, John's Info, Tusime Eddie, George Bob, Tazan Ali, Paul Banalia, Chamba de Hannington, Salongo, Murunji Jili, Nsereko Starch, Krista Vinci, George Senkubuge, Mili Mulamik, and of course Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm. Mvamu Jim, Mvakwatamu Muchuma. And I think I don't know how I would be feeling if I didn't go to the gym. I think I'd be feeling so lazy. I don't think I would have the kind of zeal I have. I was feeling very, I wasn't really enthusiastic about moving out of the house today. I overslept. I think I've been too active the past couple of days. I needed to rest a little, but I also realized that when you oversleep, then it's also something else. So I slept and woke up in the morning, then I slept again and woke up at around 2 p.m. Yeah, that's too much. When you oversleep, then you wake up at 1. But I made sure to go to the gym because it's literally only one day that I get to work out as extensive as well. That should be a Ford. That should be a Ford. Yeah, that's a Ford Transit. Looks nice. Ingini Amugarura, Gonza Anthony, Muri Mutia, Muri Burunji. I love the bass now, really balanced. Like the vibes, yeah. I try to balance it a little bit. Yeah, but of course some songs have more bass than others, so it might be uncomfortable with others, and the bass might also be almost unheard in some other songs. So guys, I missed yesterday's broadcast. Ngandi mu inspection inno. Inspection naduseko na nziruke nganda bajeraga. So I'm going to be sharing the stories starting from the last one. The last one we were looking for either a Toyota Raung or a Toyota IST. And our budget was 14 to 15 million shillings. And it was unsuccessful. Now, The person that wanted to buy the IST or Raum yesterday called me, I think texted me. They did not book. So I really did not think they were going to turn up, but they turned up eventually. And we went to start looking for the car. Now, there are brokers that normally tell the truth. At this price, they will definitely tell you. So Totawana. The newer I shared yesterday was bought on Thursday. The lady called me when she had already seen the newer. So she called me to inspect. We went and inspected, and it was okay. I literally knew nowhere that had a good offer, a better offer than that. She was specific about the color she wanted, and the newer you see in the picture checked all the boxes. So all I did was went, look at the car, see if we could get other options. Mubibanda when where that newer was, there were no other options in that price range. So she deposited money on that newer on was it Thursday, I think, yeah. And we left the newer in the Chivanda there. So we went. So that newer was picked up yesterday. And now before let me first finish the Raum IST story. Now, in the same place where we started looking, the person that was buying the Raum and IST at 14 to 15 had a broker that told them that they had a Raum or IST at 14 in that Chibanda. Let me try to be specific. Okay? Bakuri, normally they tell you Jangwa no Kuhas. There are so many brokers there that are on TikTok. So we go there. When this person tells me I have a broker there that told me he has ISTs, he has VITs new models and Raums, I said that might be impossible. You get it, but let's go check it out. So we go to the place. I got to them late. I got to them really late. My way of apologizing, we ate lunch and I paid for the lunch as we waited for the broker. Now, the funny thing with brokers, guys, you need to be very careful when you're dealing with brokers, especially when your budget is limited, yeah? A broker will never say they don't have a car. Some of them, at least. They will pull you, and when they pull you, they try to sell you something more expensive, which is something that you need to be ready for. So when this person told me, the broker told them a Moroka Jeri million kuminanya, and then they say the Uganda are Singapore na VITs. And then I asked them, did the broker share pictures with you? The person said the broker refused to share pictures. They said Yangoko ground. I said, okay, no problem. Let's go to the ground. So we went to the ground, and the broker was there. But it wasn't actually the person they were speaking to. They were speaking to another person who sent them another person. So when this person came, he said, so remember our budget is 14. When the guy took us to show us cars, he was showing us IST new models, UBR series. You get? So I tell him, but do you know the budget that these people have? Or are you just taking us to cars? He said, I'm going to be IST. And I told him the person wants the IST old model or the Raum new model, and their budget is 14. Yeah? And he said, Mbulina. And I told him, don't show them something that is out of their budget. Show them something that is within their budget. And so we started having a serious conversation. He said, you know what? Akasente kamwe kabula mutekagula wano motoka eyo mumbeera nnungi. Mulina okwongerako, for you to buy the IST or Raum, it will have to be about 17 million shillings, which for me, I had already been told by a number of brokers. So there was someone that had a UBB IST somewhere. They told us, we did not know it was a UBB, it was black in color. So we went and saw it, and also he said 17 million. Now, this is where now things get real. Normally, guys, when we don't have the conversation, normally when I tell you to pay for consultation and we have a serious conversation about the car you're trying to buy, I mean it. It helps you. It saves you and me a lot of headache, okay? So this is where we started having a conversation. Should we go look at other options elsewhere? Say this. So someone told us there was a IST somewhere in Boyogerere, and we drove there. We went to Boyogerere. There was IST, which was I think UFV, but it had both hubs. Both hubs were faulty, and I'm not sure about the gearbox still. But the mechanic told me it's because the hubs were faulty that I started. It's the reason why I started. I felt like the gears weren't shifting very well. But me, I'm still skeptical about the gearbox. And also, this person said he was selling it at 15.5, but it needed the boot, the shocks, the shock, and then the hubs were faulty. Everything else checked out. Tires were okay. The AC worked. Everything else checked out apart from the hubs. And the hubs are about 150 each. Okay, you can get them at 100, I think. That's 200. No bomba. So, and then the service. That's what needed. So that's what was needed to be worked on. And the IC was. I find that the IC was priced fairly. But remember, our budget was 14 to 15. We offered the guy 14.5 Nazigana. And then, of course, the person that was buying that wanted to buy did not like the IST still because it had work to be done in the garage. So we left there. They called us for another IST. It was an IST. In Boise, there is a Kawanda there in Boise. So we went. The IST was totally bad. It was really bad. So we looked at it once and left. And but we did the Morukachi. Then Lumumba Avenue, they called us for a room. Okay, before we went to Boyogerere, they called us to Lumumba to see this Raum, but the Raum never came. So we went to Boyogerere. Now, as we are in Boise, they tell us the Raum has actually come. The Raum was on a number plate UAU, I think. Was it UAU? And so we go check it out. It had work to be done. It looked really nice, but it had some work to be done within Mobukono Kona, wheel alignment, right? The crosses, some work needed to be done, but I find that it was minor. And and of course multiplex receipts of 40,000. So the only thing that needed to be worked on with this car was the SC, because the AC wasn't working, and the shakiness in the wheels as you went over 60 kilometers per hour. Everything else checked out. Now, with the Raum, why did we fail to buy? And this is where I need you guys to always be honest with me. And I think I've taken a long time. I need you to look at me as I say this. And just to make sure you don't miss a bit of this journey, let me stop here and you look at me as I say this, because I want to stress this point. It has been a long time since I said this. Guys, if you don't trust me, Tompa send us an inspection. We are going to waste both our time. Now, the person that bought that wanted to buy Raum and IST, and by the time we see this Raum, it was about 6 p.m. Okay? It was about 6 p.m. I need you guys to understand that 15 million shillings used to be a lot of money some time ago. But right now, 15 million shillings is very little money. I'm telling you, it's very hard for you to get a car at 15 million shillings, especially the cars that are 1.5 liters, 1.3 liters, 1 liter. It's very hard for you to get that car at 15. It's very hard. That's one thing. Number two, guys, if you don't trust anyone, then you have a problem. You must trust someone. The person that wanted to buy the Raum and IST did one thing. This person has a brother that is really good with cars. The brother has a mechanic, okay? But this person went ahead to pay Arthur for pre-purchase inspection. And after we spotted the car, before we finished negotiation, he says, "What do you want to go and get a jacket?" So we waited for 30 minutes waiting for the brother to come. Now, the brother comes, the brother drives the car, and then the owner of the car, because I wasn't there and me, I was taking my car, the owner of the car started saying, so I called him and I tell him, tell your brother to bring back the man's car. So they brought back the car. Now they actually had to wait for a mechanic to come and check the car. Now, what we have been to every movie in Jagara to Yige. And yesterday is the reason why I did the video on how to check for a car that consumes oil. Okay? Because I've realized that most people don't know how to check for a car that consumes oil. When you go to see a car that has been on the market for some time, the oil is not going to be at the right level. One of the reasons why that oil is not going to be at the right level is because people keep checking oil levels. Now, we checked this car, 10-year oil. The mechanic that came at 6 p.m. nakebere moroka nagambe inywa oil. Nagamba emotoka eyo you can get it at 8 million. Now, for the guys that know about cars, makanika yagambye omusajja nti osobola ofuna rawum enamunga ebulamu SC na kola bukono ku million 8. This is why we need to be careful which mechanics we actually work with. Makanika ayinza okuwobya. Makanika asobola okulemesa okugula emmotoka n'akubeezaawo n'otagula oluvannyuma ennyaati n'akutomeza. I'm not saying nti agenda mutomeza. It's possible nti alinayo rawum eyo million 8 ng'etuuka rawum eri gye twabadde tulabye. Okitegeera. But the thing that disappointed me is for someone to actually make a wrong check at 6 p.m. And I was actually disappointed and a little bit hurt that someone already was struggling on a budget. You spend money to pay for pre-purchase inspection by someone you don't trust. Now, I used to say this, and sometimes I think it almost seems like it's anger, but I don't want you to waste both our times. You waste my time, you waste your time, you waste your other people's time. Actually, a moroke mechanic but normally when someone brings a mechanic, I make sure that I am told what the mechanic has checked. And when I talked to the people that were there because I went back to the Chibanda chiri ku Lumumba Avenue. Nebangamba makanika yagambi moroka erimu ekigo. Guys, where do you guys get your mechanics? E moroka erimu mbu ekigo mbu yamugambye mbu you know the was it the driver fender ettama lya driver nti liraga nti moroka erimu ekigo. Ettama teriraga moroka erimu kigo. Ettama lisobola okulaga emoroka eyakulubulwa, ettama lisobola okulaga emoroka eyakulubula, ettama teriraga moroka erimu kigo. Guys, and of course, then the other thing I want to tell you, instead of wasting time waiting for someone to take a border to come to us, and there's the gentleman who wish pay for the other person the extra 50,000 shillings to get them morokango ina makanika no muntu because this gentleman yazine mukyala we. Pay an extra 50,000 to get makanika to kebere ebintu gatubikebera rumwe oleme kuddawo kulinda muntu kujja. That will actually save our time. But also, guys, I find that you need to trust someone. Omuntu ono aina muganda we amanye eby'emmotoka, but he could not trust his brother to go with him to check the car for him. Ontegeera, it's a very bad thing. And if you're a brother to someone, make yourself trustable. That's the other thing that I want to tell you. So yes, the Raum wasn't bought, and I ended up telling this gentleman on phone, you know what you should do? Of course, send the inspection, guys, one day. So, and he was saying, and I really wanted to be very lenient. Mugambe emoroka bazinde to the wind, but I told him to go with that mechanic specifically. Why? I don't want us to keep wasting time. Because you can imagine if the mechanic you can imagine if you had gone and saw a car in Namugongo, so we would be in Namugongo waiting for a mechanic to come to Waise to confirm what we have checked. So I ended up telling this gentleman, you know what? Mechanico ya sembi okibida. Yaba kebere moroka jogendo mugura. So yes, we did not buy the Raum. I have a picture of the Raum, guys. I'm going to share the Raum. Mechanic jiyagami entasoro jimufunya ku million 8. You guys will laugh. And of course now, there are guys here, like when I posted the Nuwa, there is a guy that I think the name is Tumukunde. He said the moroka zetugura za bei. Guys, if you're a broker, if you are a car dealer, go ine motoka ezala isi, please inbox me. Mbera unga nonye moroka ezala isi, nze singo okwagala ogule moroka ezala isi. But moroka ezala isi teziriyo. Okisegeera. So Tumukunde, if you're watching this live broadcast, if you have a dealer that you know are in a good prices, or a dealer that has prices that you think are fair, please share your the dealer's number with us, or so not sharing on a live broadcast, so that people actually go there. I'm happy that these days people actually go out there and find their own cars. It's a very, very good thing. So that was the last car I checked, and we did not buy. So I have 3 more cars to share. I just wanted to make sure that I make the point of you not taking me for inspection when you don't trust my diagnosis. The best way for you to actually not trust me and yet still trust me is to come with the third person. I find that majority of the time when people come with their own mechanics, we agree. There are about 5 times that people have come with the mechanics, and our diagnosis is literally always the same. There is a Kaundo we bought from Makerere University. There is then that Wish. There is a Nuwa Mujiraba. The lady that bought that Noah, her brother is a mechanic. He was with us. So, and a bunch of other times. So I would encourage you guys, instead of going to check a car with Arthur and then afterwards inviting some other third party to come and inspect the car after Arthur, bring that other person for Murundi Gumu. Because we will be wasting time. Because and sometimes you guys are not really honest. Onomuyaye yatuyimiriza ku kabandaawo eddakiika nangatayogera mazima. Okitegeera agamba tulindeko muganda wange wajja. Kumbe ne muganda we wajja. Agenda jivuga ajidduse wagitwale mu garage. Okitegeera that's a very bad way of doing business, yeah? Yeah, that's a very bad way of doing business. But anyway, that's the story of the Raum. And then I think the next car we bought was the Mark X. The Mark X. Now, in the bond, Mark X is at 29 million shillings, 28 million shillings. We even got one at 27 million shillings. Yeah. And I think we also got one at 26 million shillings mu bond. Na ye emorokezo, some of the cars don't zibate zimalayo, no bulungi ezimu ziba sinungi. Okitegeera. We went to the bond and even saw Mark X that doesn't have functioning air conditioning. You get it? Then we saw one ngeina omutonga mu Yulifu. Now, we bought that Mark X UBQ at 25.5 million shillings. Why did we buy that Mark X at 25 million shillings? In the same place where we bought Wabado Mark X and a UBP, ngaya 24 million shillings. Now, there are times I would actually encourage someone to buy a car outside the bond. What are those times? One, if the car, because majority of the time when you buy a car from the bond, you're going to reinvest 500,000 shillings in fixing the car up a little bit. This Mark X that we bought, it was simply drive. When you buy, you drive, you go. The young man that bought that Mark X, extras. If you look at the pictures of that Mark X, ye Mark X jibagamba marayo. Eina multimedia controls on the passenger door. If you look at that picture, in the pictures closely again, you realize that car has multimedia controls on the passenger side. Echirala emorokeyo, of course, eina ebintu ya Mark X byonna bwebeera nabyo. Then echirala, it's white, which is what he wanted. And then there was nothing to work on. The tires were okay. The one thing that he was really specific about is the multimedia controls. In the bond, emoroka zonna eziri mu bond enakawa wonna tewali moroka ina multimedia controls ezo. Eyo Mark X gye twaguze mu bond wonna teriyo. Okitegeera. And then of course sometimes you'll get brokers to tell you eyo motoka anjirina, and then when you call them obaga manzija kujigula natandika okubuzaabuza. You get it? Natandika okubuzaabuza, natandika obutakwata simu, natandika okwogera nawe mu ngeri etategeerekeka. You get, it's a very bad thing that brokers do, because they said even when they post pictures of cars that are not available. Okitegeera, they post pictures of cars they don't have, and then when you call them, for them their goal is to pull you to bring you to the location, and then they sell you something that is a bit more expensive. You get it? So how many Mark X's did we look at? We looked at about 5 markets, I think, and 2 of them were in the bond. Then there are others that told me about in the bond, but that is Marayo. In Moroka, the person that bought it, the markets, the reason why he actually bought it was mainly because of the extras that he wanted in that car. Which take it about the extras markets and as just that's why we bought it at that price. Now to get the story of the Noah is quite short. The lady called me in the morning and told me, Arthur, normally, okusinzira how busy I am, if you call me and you say, Arthur, just to if I come and look at the car and it checks out, obutafayo gamanti tugende tunonye walala. Sometimes obagwo wenyine moroka wagisimye da okitegeera and of course nange nenzijana nenda moroka nga it checks out, it takes everything, it ticks all the boxes that need to be ticked. So we went and saw that Noah and it checked all the boxes. Of course, at that very time, someone called me with a Noah at 28 million shillings. It was a UBM. We bought a UBL. Someone called me with a Noah UBM and Nayonge ticking out all the boxes. Now the trouble with the Noah UBM was that it was white. The lady did not want a white car, and this was white. So ngateita because of the color. Nenga it was cheaper, we would have saved like 1 million. Then the other problem that we had that day was that the lady wasn't paying full amount. Ate abantu abamu batawanya botaba wa sente. Atenga wano we yali agula it's chibanda bo basobola okwatako sente n'amala n'akomawo n'asasula n'amalayo. Eri gye baali bangamba yali ya muntu nga yayagala sente kukivaamu. Ayagala millions 28 nga za cash akiveemu. So those are the hiccups that we got with those cars, but the Noah checked all the boxes. Power doors were all still working. And then what's the other car? The Subaru Impreza. Now the story of the Subaru Impreza, the lady booked me at night, and we talked, and in the morning we linked up at 9. We had quite a conversation. We talked about feminism. I need to have someone that is a feminist to come and we have a chat in probably in my studio or in the car, just for us to talk about feminism. Yeah, it would be a very nice conversation. So we meet with the lady, have a chat as we go out to the bond to look. Now, brokers can be very good people. They can get you good deals. They can get you good cars. But brokers can also be very bad people. So a broker took this lady from Nakawa ewabere Moroke nyingi namutwala somewhere else ngekibanda kiriwo nga kimu that they have only 3 Imprezas. Now 2 of the Imprezas were 2 liter and only one was a 1.6 liter. Erimu FB16. The others have FB20. Now if you buy an Impreza that has an FB20 engine, you'll be literally driving a Forester. The fuel consumption will not be very friendly. You get. So when I meet this lady, Emoroka yali asimye, yebali basimye ne broker we, the car looked good. Yaliko scratches, definitely. It had scratches. So ideally, it would not be the very best. But mundabika yalinge erabiko bulungi okusinga endala. But it had only one trouble. Ngaterinnyisa bulungi oil. Okitegera yayiterinnyisa bulungi oil, and that was the trouble. So we went to look at the 1. And I'll encourage any person buying their first car, if you can get a 1.5, 1.6 liter car, and that's if you don't need a lot of power, buy that car. So we looked at the one that has the FB16 engine. Nga ate yontala ngambi. These all these are numberless cars. Ngambi. So we went back to look at another FB20, and this one was okay. Because the lady called me, by the way, that's why when you look at the post where I talk about the Impreza bought at 29, there is a bracket plus 500,000 shillings. The 500,000 shillings, this lady called me after she had deposited money. And this is something I stop you guys from doing. Don't deposit on a car. The cars are too many, and the person that has money is the most powerful person. Once you buy a car, you have lost your power. On Tegeda, a person that has 30 million shillings has more power than a person that has a car of 60 million. You get, because even a person that has a car of 60 million can end up selling it 30 and they'll be even. So this lady had already deposited like had deposited 500,000 on the car. So 29.5 was the price. It would be okay. It would be okay. Name. Muloza mama bante yantumye ennyanja ne neerabira. Kangule wa ennyanja. Naye bwe ngula ennyanja mba ngula emiyembe gy'abatabani bange. Kakati bwe ngula ennyanja neerabidde okujja ne ssente. Ate these people simanyi batwala mobile money. Bwe ngula ennyanja mba ngula emiyembe gy'aba abani. Ezoolizo ezirabika obulungi. Yebale. Kanabe sente zennyina wano. Ennyanja zameka ezo? Ekale empeezi 5. Nga kuliko n'ennyongeza nga nnyingi nnyo. So guys, I'm still sharing you. So we go and see. But while we look at this car, mazeno kusime moroka nemugamba, you know what? You take this car. It's the one that checks all the boxes, yeah? I tell her, but why are we buying a 2-liter car? And some people tebabimanye bye byamafuta nti moroka zinywa differently. But I told her, why are we buying takati zino zintwemu obutunguluzi nga mungi nga kuliko nenyongeza. So I ask, why are we buying a 2-liter Subaru Impreza if we can get a 1.6 liter? Because 2-liter Subaru Imprezas are for people that have power freaks, people that want to have a lot of power out of their cars. And this is a lady, drives from work to home, home to work. So I tell the lady, you know what you should do? So I tell the lady, you know what? Give me an hour. Let's see if we can get better options, yeah? And I tell the lady, I'm going to try to make sure that you are buying a Subaru Impreza at 29.5, yeah? I'm going to make sure that we still don't go beyond the 29.5 million shillings. So my goal was to get a Subaru at either 28 or 29, so that tawulira bubi tikali atano gigakoze gamubuze. Now probably the other thing why omukyalo ono bali bamuguze moroka embi obeza yingi nenene, it's because they were selling her in 2013 at 29.5. Now a good 2013 Subaru Impreza will definitely cost you 32 million shillings from what I saw in the bond. Emoroka Subaru Impreza nga 2013 erimu million 32 okitegere nungi. And the lady was buying a Subaru Impreza at 29.5. Now when nagenda nendaba ekyali mu bond, then I realized why they were selling this car to her at 29, these cars to her at 29.5. It's miyembe gy'abano nga mito, njagala miyembe gyengedde abantu bajja kulya miyembe mito, miyembe gy'abano mito. Kale ate temuyimuse, nze njagala okugula ku bantu nga bamanyi okuyimuka. Omuntu na customer n'ayimirize mmotoka n'osigala ng'otidde tobalabye wamma. Kati kangule ku ggwe miyembe gya mmeka? Kale naye ogaba ennyongeza. Kale guys, when I see super custom, it's a category of a taxi. I still wondering why using class B. No, the taxi has 8 seats, 7 passengers. If you're driving 8 passengers and below, you can use the class B. It's after 8 passengers that 7 actually 8 passengers and above we tagira class C D1 ebera D1 yange ivuga taxi ebera class D1 oyino kuba abasabaze balina okweyongerako. Other can faulty brake drum cause vibration while at high speed. Sometimes It's rare, but sometimes that one malfunctions majorly when you're braking. But it can only happen if your brakes were tightly timed. Because our sounds in Uganda are not really balanced well. It distorts manguda. Regardless, we enjoy. Kama Godwin, how are you? Best hot movies. Joseph Bari Kudembe. Abby 360 videos. Hussein Jamal, I have a broadcast on Sunday and Saturday at 5:15 p.m., 5:20 p.m. there. It's why, by all means, everyone needs to be the guardian angel while purchasing a car. A person like me spending all this while out of this country, I need Soka KFC. Arthur, I want a bit all model 1.3. Then I'm going to Alright, guys, I'm going to read those comments and also basibula. For now, Kamareye Mbozia Subaru Impreza. So we go out to a different, when we go in that 1 hour that I asked the lady to give me, I got like 6 Imprezas. And these Imprezas came from a place where her broker had told her, Teziri yo. Uba broker bave nakana mgameno Teziri yo na wali wajiziri. Na mtuala in a place that had only 3 of them. So we go to this place and we see about 6 Imprezas. The very best one, the one that looked the best, had already been taken. Of course, it was being washed now that it was bought. Then we saw a 2013. Nyonga yagala million ya 32 million. And all the other 2013 models that I saw were 32 million. So I did not even bother to show the lady those cars. So we looked at cars that were in our price range. Of course, still never million ya satu. But I told this guy that took us, it's all about million because the lady muje mu bondi ndala nga mugamba tina agenda fune moroke nunje singeri ukitegeera naye sente ze tezina kweyongeramu. You get, because sometimes someone has their own budget, and the Indian came, went back and forth until he accepted. And so we ended up at 29. We looked at this particular Indian had 4 Imprezas. There was a black one which was actually 2013, but naenga si nungi bulungi. Nayo yabali ajitua 29.5. 29 I mean. Na yenga nayo terabika bulungi. Okitegeera ngate it had a lot of scratches on the body, but it was an actual 2013. So the one we picked is a 2012, and what we did is we talked to the Indian and he gave us the rims that were on the 2013, and we kept our tires because our tires were newer. So on that very day, we got someone to change the tires, rim, and then of course totally, but we had paid for the car, and then we went to pay, and then this is probably something that I would like to tell you guys. Bank transfers don't work in Uganda that well. Of course, we were lucky this time in Chakola, but when you're going to buy a car, especially if you're going to buy from Indians, and I also got chickens from Pade. I realized I'm not a farmer, so I'm never going to rear chickens. So I actually realized now I'm not a farmer. Ngenda gabirako abantu bange kati enkoko naye padde enkoko zo ne bulungi, but I'm coming to bargain. Engeri emu gye yafudde leka yabadde endwadde. I'm coming to bargain. So we mbadde mbagamba ekya bank transfers don't work in Uganda. Why? Normally, and I've seen this with so many people, the Indians and car dealers don't accept bank transfers. Why? Because if you send money via bank transfer, for example, Standard Chartered, sending money to Standard Chartered, that can work. But if you're Standard Chartered and you're sending money to like Equity, it will take 24 hours. But we were lucky. I know we had to direct transfer. It took like 4 hours. So she sent part of the money. We went to the bank. We drove to the bank to pick the rest of the money. And by the time we came back, the Indian had received all the money. So what we did, we paid, went and waited for the tire changing guys. a little bit, but then the lady had to go to work. And that's how we we bought all those cars. Subaru Impreza, that Subaru Impreza is a 2012. We bought a Toyota Noah, that's a 2008, 2009. And then the Mark X, which is also a 2008, 2009 model. And then how we failed to buy a Toyota Raom new model or Toyota IST old model. Njagala no basibulira bano bantu bange kuba kati ngenda vuga ka massive nzirukesi lero sozeza moroka because we did not have power. I don't know why all these people seem to not have power, but yeah, njagala basibulira bano mpezi ndachika abiri esigadde nsobola okugira ngene njoze moroka. So but let me just read the comments I've not yet read. Aksam Kasibante, Bruno Insingoma, Eddie Longo, King Daniels, Elifazi Tomsange, Michael Brubaker, Fruitland Cultivation. Does the government require your vehicles to be registered and insured? Yes, please. Guys, double tap. Your 51, we have only 39 likes. Double tap. Good evening, Arthur, and everyone on this live broadcast. Just don't forget to like the broadcast. Thank you very much. Very much. I'm Agendon. SPK Driving School VIP. How are you today? Temweda with the SPK Driving School. A big artist. How much a good Forester 2009 and 2013? I have no idea. I have to look at the prices in the bond. Yeah. Yeah. Do you just drive on any side of the road? No, we drive on the left side. Arthur, why don't you leave the Nyongeza alone? Arthur, do you think it's a good idea to look for a car to buy from online platforms like Gigi? One should come to you and you. Engineer, I find that when you look at Gigi, use it as a basis, call them and ask them if the cars exist. So what happens? So many people that we have bought cars with, they call the guys on Gigi and we go and look at the cars. Gigi still has some genuine people, but they are very few. Arthur, maybe you took long without giving them food. Just know they left the farm at 9 a.m. I naengenda namu pade. Indala namu bali koko ziria. Kagwa Marvin Ogambota. When is the organization starting? Yes, January together. We are up and running, guys. Yeah, Elijah Brandon, Naedo electric cars work in Uganda. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We are going to get into that very soon. Which car can ably replace Alex? The Toyota Auris. The Auris is the replacement of the Alex and the Ranex. Guys, munzikirize nomba sibule. Kawozi nkaba wadaka inspection uza naze enkoze. Abagenda okumpe memu ya inspection mujirete 450k. Eno wiki yesemba yutusobora okunganya sente za matagaba abani jajja wanga afune Christmas. Kwegamba bitambule Katumba Hamidu Patrick Yopotre Farm pade Jones Info to see me Eddie George Bob Tazan Ali Paul Banaria Chabade Hannington Salongo Murunji Jiri Sereko Starch Chris Da Vinci George Senkubuge Mula Mick Edwin Mugerwa Gonza Anthony Inginia Mugarura Jones Info Mujunansi Michael Kamuka Godwin Dylan Shear Best Source Movies Joseph Bari Kudembe Bukenya Abyss 360 videos Henry Modern Jules Stephen Omuria. Guys, Abari Mukamole, I don't take it for granted. Hussein Jamal Mo Fire Joseph Trina Derek Lule Kasibate Akisam Derek Lule Eddie Longo Eddie Faz Tomosange Fruitland Cultivation Rama Charity Organization Murunji Jili. Arthur, what could be the advantage of a 1.8 liter engine? It's power. Just power. There is nothing else. 1.3 liter engines are also okay. Wasa Roderick Fosca, how are you today? I'm a Gendon, SPK Driving School VIP, a big artist Kagwa Marvin, Ricardo Moulton, Bob Quick, Semanda Raymond, John Solubinga, Nabadi Mukamori. Guys, I wish you a very lovely evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I have to vacuum. But may the good Lord bless you. Uncle, as a project ya wired cars, yaba boy. Ngenda ba waliza ifani kangenebi kube kati. Guys,